of Anthony Joshua dissecting and breaking to pieces Jake Paul in Miami.
I hold myself in that same regard, so I need to do it. And that's my intention, to seek and destroy.
As the fight is approaching, harsh predictions and intense training updates are flooding in regarding Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua. Most importantly, recently, Team Joshua taunted Jake Paul, revealing their plans to embarrass him on December 19th in the ring. As strong confidence always emerges from the training camp, in the same way, Anthony Joshua is entering the fight against Jake Paul with unwavering focus and a determined mindset. Fully prepared, he aims to make a statement win, knowing a loss is not an option. Deep in his mind, he is committed to delivering a dominant performance, leaving no room for doubt. Knocking out Jake is his primary objective for fight night, and he has consistently emphasized in interviews that a YouTube-turned-fighter cannot compete with the skill and experience of a professional boxer. Anthony is mentally and physically ready to prove his superiority and solidify his legacy in the ring.
So that's what I'm preparing for. I'm preparing for the one who thinks that he's, you know, like the Matrix. He thinks he's the chosen child, the problem child. So I'm preparing for that type of person. That's his mentality. So I'm preparing for that type of person. I'm not preparing for the person everyone thinks he is. I'm preparing for the person he thinks he is.
In the camp, Joshua's training intensity has reached its peak. Every day is structured with strict routines, leaving nothing to chance. He focuses on perfecting every technique, visualizing every scenario, and making sure each weapon in his arsenal is fully ready. Movement, timing, power, and endurance are all expertly refined. His zeal for preparation is unwavering. Every practice challenges him further, strengthening his body and mind. Joshua is making every effort to ensure that he is ready to dominate and is unstoppable when he enters the ring.
Don't get caught by cheese. If you don't hear anything else I tell you tonight, young people, don't get caught up with the cheese. See, what you gotta understand, when the rat get caught, see,
Again, last one. Big drop.
Most crucially, Anthony's sparring has intensified with a diverse lineup of powerful partners, each bringing unique methods and styles. He rotates between opponents who offer different speeds, strengths, and tactical approaches, ensuring he experiences every possible look Paul might present on fight night. From pressure-heavy partners to awkward movers and counterpunch specialists, Joshua is testing himself against a full spectrum of challenges. This variety keeps him sharp, adaptable, and fully alert in every exchange. His objective is straightforward: enter the ring ready for anything, knowing full well that Jake can surprise him.
Does the power stay with you, Anthony, even at a couple pounds lighter?
Yeah. Well, you got different types of power. You got the power that you generate, like in sparring and on the heavy bag, and I'm controlling the sparring partners pretty well. I'm hitting them hard, they're hitting me hard. We're doing good rounds, and then the power in the gym hasn't dropped off either, so that's good.
Before discussing Team Joshua's plans in detail, it is also mandatory to note that according to Andrew Tate's forecast, the battle is intriguing and has the potential to harm either of the participants. Neither of them enjoys taking a back seat and are both quite hard punchers. They both need to be extremely clear in their shot selection and defense as a result. All things considered, he maintained that it will be a fantastic fight that fans shouldn't miss. Crucially, he also added that he would fight Jake if given the opportunity, citing the money and recognition he would receive from doing so as compelling reasons.
Would you ever entertain a fight with Jake Paul?
Sure. Absolutely. Why not?
Do you think he beats Anthony Joshua?
I think that's going to be a very interesting night.
Same night as yours?
Night before.
19th of December, yeah, sorry. But a little bit frustrating that it's the same weekend?
No, I think for the sport of boxing, I have so much respect for anyone who gets in the ring. And people are putting their lives on the line to provide entertainment to people at home. So I have a lot of respect for Jake and AJ. And I'm just glad they're going to get in there and do it, and I hope they both get out safe.
Teddy Atlas, another significant figure, predicted that Jake Paul would have a good chance of winning the game. He enumerated several characteristics that he can use to his advantage on fight night. Joshua has partly declined, he declared, and it should be clear going into the contest that he is not the same person he once was. However, Paul has become the most successful fighter of his career by honing a number of features of his fighting style. If Anthony thinks he would win easily, he might be incorrect. Atlas maintained that Jake will at least fight back and keep Joshua from easily winning.
Been pretty damn smart. I'm not saying he's the fighter that Joshua is, but I don't know if Joshua's the fighter that Joshua was. I don't know if his mind is right. And how do we define winning? Does he have, it's only 8 rounds, by the way. How about if he runs around, does a track meet, bop, bop, boop, 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 you know? He's got a pretty good right hand. Sneaks in a right hand once in a while with Joshua standing there maybe, you know, for a minute, second. He moves around, keeps Joshua off balance. And what if he does that?
On the other hand, Tony Bellew felt confident that Joshua would prevail in this match. He also admitted that Jake's career has advanced. Nonetheless, he did underline that there are always differences between a professional boxer and someone who chooses to make boxing their second career. He continued to assert that Anthony is an excellent fighter who is skilled at using a range of fighting strategies. According to Bellew, Paul would understand what boxing is all about after taking Joshua's first strike in the ring.
Insane, it's madness, but no one can knock Josh because it's just madness. I can't get my head around it, mate. I just don't believe he is going to be in the ring facing Josh with 10-ounce gloves on. When he touches him for the first time with a pair of 10-ounce gloves on, he's going to get the fright of his life.
Furthermore, like Tony, Frank Martin also remarked that although developments are good and show progress, there are particular circumstances in which perfection is required. It seems like a fantastic fight between Jake and AJ, but it won't be interesting unless Paul shows some courage and fortitude, else Joshua will end the fight fast. He elaborated by saying that if Jake overcomes this obstacle, which is very challenging for him, his boxing career will go towards legitimacy. Overall, he thought the fans would enjoy both boxers' performances.
I consider Jake now, you know, I wouldn't consider him like a YouTube fighter no more. You know, I feel like he put in the time, he gotten better throughout like all his fights, like he done got better throughout all those fights, you know. But it's still like when you fighting like fighters who actually like done it for like their life, their whole life, it's a little different. You know, if that fight happened, it'll be a good money fight. It'll be a good money fight. But that's a tough task for, you know what I'm saying, Jake going to get that big ass heavyweight AJ. You know, I know AJ personally, you know, so that's a tough task, and that motherfucker could punch.
Moreover, Oleksandr Usyk also underscored that Anthony Joshua is a killer fighter. In boxing, you often dismiss a fellow fighter's abilities until you actually step into the ring with him, and the same situation is going to happen with Paul. Usyk argued Jake has almost zero chances of winning this. He further cemented his prediction by explaining several reasons why Anthony won't allow Paul to beat him. He also highlighted the clear difference between both fighters' resumes, firmly hailing Joshua as a serious threat for Jake in this clash.
Anthony Joshua won. Anthony killed this guy. Listen, a lot of questions, blah blah blah. Only one my answer. Anthony Joshua is Olympic champion. Yeah. First. Jake Paul is sportsman, YouTuber, showman. Rolls Royce, Fiat. Listen, it's true. I'm not.
Further delving into pros predictions, Jose Benavidez Sr. also endorsed Anthony in his prognosis. He explained that even though Jake is making a lot of effort because he understands how important the challenge is to him, he thinks it would be particularly difficult to defeat Anthony. Benavidez reckons he might prevail by decision or by stoppage in the last rounds. The event will be extremely memorable for boxing fans if Paul keeps up his current training tempo, he continued, but Joshua will still prevail.
You know, don't count him out. You know, I think that's a very dangerous fight for Jake Paul. But at the end of the day, you know, we could have a big upset, you know. But I think that AJ is too much for Jake Paul at this point, and he's bigger than Jake Paul, in my opinion.
Do you think it's competitive? A lot of people are saying if AJ doesn't get him out of there in 2 rounds, it'll be a huge embarrassment.
I don't think that's not the case, that he's gonna get Jake Paul. At the end of the day, Jake Paul has been training hard too, and you know, he's a pretty good fighter. I don't think he would take him out in 2-3 rounds. I think maybe in the later rounds, or it might go to decision, you know, but I don't think that Jake Paul can take AJ out.
However, unlike the majority, Robert Garcia highlighted that Jake Paul has earned his place by working hard. He argued that even though many people still don't think Paul is a legitimate fighter and are already ruling him out of the match, there's a chance he could surprise everyone by defeating Joshua. Anyway, Garcia cautioned that Anthony can be quite vicious on fight night, which makes Jake's job quite difficult. However, the enormous sum of money involved in this event adds a sense of unpredictability, making it difficult to predict the outcome and giving the impression that anything might happen when the bell rings.
Wait to see that right hand land. It's sure. I think there's no doubt. I gotta give credit to Jake Paul. He's a crazy man. He's a crazy man, but he's making a lot of money. You know, I remember in the 90s growing up, everybody was saying, would you get knocked out by Mike Tyson for $1 million? And we all said yes. So this guy's probably gonna get knocked out, but he's making probably $50 million. So respect to him. He's earned his position where he's at.
Additionally, according to Ariel Helwani and Ode Oladipo's estimates, the encounter should conclude in the first 2 to 3 rounds given Joshua's opportunity. Anthony's victory would be legitimately justified if the competition ended early. Overall, they stress that Anthony must win, and win inside those first few rounds, if he hopes to satisfy his supporters and explain why he picked to fight.
Oh no, AJ should destroy him. This is 10-ounce gloves. It's 3-minute rounds. This is AJ's wheelhouse. And Jake wouldn't have fought anyone this powerful, this fresh, this powerful, this big, and someone that hits that hard. Like someone was telling me the other day that, oh, Jake could just cover up. I'm like, do you think he's not gonna feel it on his elbows and his hand? Like, unless AJ kind of plays around and spars, that's the only way this goes deep.
What's more, Ryan Garcia's analysis was really direct. Jake Paul has virtually little chance of winning, he warned. Garcia also confessed that he doesn't understand Paul's decision to select such an impressive rival or the mentality behind it. Joshua's powerful blows will leave Jake with almost little reaction, even though Gervonta Davis had also given Anthony some trouble during their fight. Paul will probably have no idea where the punches are coming from or how to block them on fight night. Garcia also foresees that Joshua will subjugate Paul more thoroughly than nearly every boxer in history.
Do we even know how he can react to a big punch yet? We don't. He's never even got hit yet, like in a real fight. He's never taken a real punch. So that's what I'm saying. What are we talking about here? Like, he's trying to talk about, like, oh yeah, like AJ shot and he's getting knocked out. Like, but what about you? Or how are you gonna react when that big shot hits you? You think you're gonna snap back into it and know what to do? No. Not gonna happen. I give him, out of 1,000,000 times if they fought, honest to God, I think he could win maybe 1 out of the 1,000,000 times they fought.
Moving forward, let's come back to the fighters' training. Anthony Joshua's preparation for the clash with Jake Paul is a collective effort rather than an individual endeavor. From corner coaches to strategists, every member of his team is painstakingly in line with his vision. Every action, modification, and tactic is coordinated thanks to the smooth communication. Anthony relies on the knowledge and insights of his staff in developing his tactics. To increase productivity and preparedness, every sparring session, review, and planning conversation is coordinated. The group's goal is to avoid exposing any vulnerabilities. On fight night, they work together like a well-oiled machine to carry out Joshua's dominant plan with perfection.
Don't throw unless you're ready. If not, upper body movement and feinting, come. Chin down and get the jab working as much as you can, all right? Okay. When it's there, hooking off it, right hands follow it, short left hooks, head and body. No leaning, all right? Yeah. Keep your head off that line today and a better defense. Okay, steady. Okay. Naz, can you put, when I tell you, can you put his gloves on? I'll give you some stuff to put around the table.
In the camp, Anthony's heavy bag training has also become one of the most demanding parts of his routine as he sharpens every aspect of his striking. He takes an organized approach to each practice, focusing explosiveness, preciseness, and effortless combinations. Joshua uses the heavy bag to train his body to withstand pressure, hone execution, and perfect offensive and defensive transitions in addition to hitting hard. He practices explosive bursts followed by controlled movement using the bag to mimic actual fight rhythms. Overall, he gains endurance, enhances his efficiency, and strengthens the discipline he will need in the ring thanks to this training. He gets closer to being at his best on fight night with each blow. the other hand, Jake Paul's training camp has also intensified significantly as he prepares for what he recognizes as the toughest challenge of his career. Understanding that facing Anthony Joshua is a completely different level of competition, Paul has committed himself to a grueling and highly detailed regimen. His days are also dedicated to exercises meant to test his abilities and put him in situations that are unfamiliar. Jake has been forced to adopt a new level of discipline since he understands that this fight requires more than anything he has ever tried. Each exercise is designed to sharpen his physical fitness, perfect his response times, and get him ready for the kind of strain Anthony is known to exert. What's important is that a range of activities that go beyond Jake's regular routine have been added to his program. He is also undergoing rigorous conditioning sessions that put his strength, endurance, and mental fortitude to the test. Knowing that even the smallest error against an experienced professional may lose him the fight, he spends hours studying posture, mastering execution, and modifying footwork in an effort to develop spontaneous reactions that might help him get through challenging times in the ring. He is also practicing various combinations, angles, and defensive strategies. Jake also knows that details are more important than ever, so he approaches every drill with attention. Overall, he practices every situation he might see on fight night, including high-intensity exchanges, surprising shots, late-round exhaustion, early pressure, and mid-fight adjustments. In order for him to remain composed when the big time comes, his team also challenges him to overcome obstacles throughout practice. Making sure he is both physically and mentally equipped before the bell rings is the goal of every repetition, every round, and every strategy session. Even though Jake Paul is still far from being considered an experienced boxer, he is training with the zeal of someone who is desperate to establish his place on that stage.
Come on, you didn't score. Come on.
Considering all these things, fans and commentators alike are getting more and more enthusiastic as fight night draws near. Many top boxing experts have made predictions about this fight, each with their own opinion on the winner. When the two finally enter the ring and square off, fans are excited to see whose predictions come to pass. An exciting and action-packed bout seems nearly certain given the determination and commitment both competitors have displayed during their training camps. As the countdown to this match proceeds, there is an electrifying feeling as supporters on both sides are generally certain that their favorite will prevail. Now, in the end, it's your turn to make the call. Who do you think will walk away victorious on December 19th? Jake Paul or Anthony Joshua? Share your predictions in the comment section below and let us know the reasons behind your choice. We'd love to hear every viewpoint from our boxing community. And while you're here, don't forget to like and subscribe. Your support truly means a lot and motivates us to keep delivering every major boxing update straight to you. Stay tuned to this channel for all the latest news, insights, and breakdowns from the world of boxing.